Yo, I put all the pieces together. We figured it out. We got Matlock, we got Columbo, we got everybody involved when it comes down to investigations to figure this out. Yo, listen, I need y'all to stay tuned because you're going to be surprised on the links and the connections that we were able to kind of piece together over the last couple of days. It's interesting. We also got some new evidence that Tory didn't do it. Let's see how this goes. Yo, welcome back to the Jefetalk reaction channel, also known as the Jefetalk podcast. Yo, listen, we're going to just jump right into it. So, over the last few days, we've seen a lot of different videos on theories and assumptions on why Tory got stabbed. And unfortunately, that happened. And shout out to Tory. I heard he's still in critical condition, but he's breathing and things of that nature. But I think the most important thing is we got to be careful with the narratives that we put out, right? Again, a lot of this is speculation. A lot of this is he say, she say. But at the same time, it will be in our best interest to kind of step back and kind of look at all the game pieces that's on the table. And until we kind of hear exactly from him, which we're probably not going to hear too much on the stabbing based off we know who Tory is, the way he lived his life, things of that nature. It's not going to be so much you can say exactly, behind those walls. But at the same time, we have information that was put out to the internet and, we're going to do our best interest. So let's check out first this news report, and then I'm going to link all the pieces that I was able to put together. And also we're going to talk about the new information that just literally came out earlier today. I was on a flight. I came back. I was like, what? I already had my pieces, what I was going to talk about, but we got to put it together. So check this out.
Has been identified tonight in the prison stabbing of former hip-hop star Tory Lanez. According to the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, Lanez was stabbed by inmate Santino Casio at a housing unit at the California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi. That attack happened early yesterday morning. An Instagram post from Lanez's account says he was stabbed 14 times in that attack, causing both of his lungs to collapse. The post goes on to say he's now breathing normally and is in good spirits. The former rapper was sentenced to 10 years in prison back in 2023 after shooting fellow hip-hop star Megan Thee Stallion at a house party in Los Angeles. Casio was serving a life sentence in prison after being convicted of second-degree murder in 2004.
Now, what's interesting about that, there's a little bit more layers to why he was in prison, right? And I think that is something to maybe consider as well, especially as as we're in a day and age of casting judgment and things of that nature. You got the Meg stands, the Tory stands, and things of that nature. But at the same time, there was a shout out to this gentleman who put out the information. He goes by 59J. Shout out to this information. He actually broke down exactly why he stabbed him. And I don't think there's much light on this as it should. So let's check out his video on why Tory was actually stabbed based off his inside information that he has.
Yet another update, right? Because I did my background check. You can check out the full video on Renegade Media on YouTube. But this is the suspect that stabbed Tory Lanez, right? In Tehachapi State Prison. And I already explained why he stabbed Tory Lanez for disrespecting his wife at visit, saying a couple, derogatory words on the tier about his.
All right, just off top. Tory Lanez got stabbed because he was talking crazy to him. And supposedly he was flirting with old boy's wifey during visitation. Now, when I first heard this, I was like, ain't no way. Ain't no way you really gonna risk it all, flirting with somebody else's joint? Come on, dog. So, but then I started thinking about who Tory is. Like Tory, number one, Tory's a Leo. Like I'm a Leo. So I already know how wild we can get when it comes down to feeling ourselves and feeling like we're untouchable. Right. And I think this is really important to understand the environment that he's in. He's in California state. Right. It's nothing but just gang wars over there. And, you know, we're going to kind of peel back the layers of a few things that connected the type of reaction, the type of protection, the type of environment that he's in based off what he says, right? I'll never wish this on anybody, but at the same time, you got to be really careful on how you're communicating, especially in that environment, right? So I was able to peel back some more information and figure that out, but let's finish this video.
His wife, and the man took initiative to defend his wife and stab another inmate. That's why I said it's not really going to be a racial war, and if it does happen, so be it. That's in prison, but I always said it was personal. But let me tell you guys why he's in prison. He's in there for murder, right? He also has an in-house stabbing as well, and he got caught with a bunch of weapons, and he's been known to stab a couple of other inmates. He caught additional time on top of his life sentence. He was 20 years old living in Lancaster, right? And he was on parole when he started dating a 13-year-old girl named Evelyn. And Evelyn ran away from home from Palmdale, ended up at his house. They had obviously some type of encounters, you know, some kind of relationships, if you know what I'm talking about. And then things escalated and blew out of proportion where they got into an argument, and he shot 13-year-old Evelyn in the face and killed her. That's why he got sentenced. And the reason why I bring that up is because even though he didn't get charged for it with an S offense because the district attorney went after a murder case, you know, this dude got his spotlight. I'm pretty sure that's what he is enjoying right now. A lot of blogs talk about, you know, the fact that he stabbed Tory Lanez. But let's talk about the fact that he also shot a 13-year-old little girl that he was having sex with when he was 20 years old.
That's wild work. Real wild work. And the question is, okay, we understood supposedly this dude stabbed Tory, right? But why does the context matter of why, you know, this guy's in jail? Number one, he's in there for life. But how does this connect back to Tory, right? So I started digging. You know, now mind you, I'm a Tory Lanez fan. Like, I love his music. Everybody knows I rock with Tory. But then I was remembering DDG put out a video and put out a song with Tory while he was locked up. And there were certain lyrics in there that definitely stood out to me. And we're going to kind of break that down because I think it's really important on how does this build up to the point where, okay, Tory is now in the position that he's in, right? Now, keep in mind, this track, he was talking crazy. And I was like, yo, and number one, check out the track. It's called Handling Business by DDG and Tory Lanez. And I'm like, yo, bro, you understand, like, this is not entertainment, right? It's entertainment to you because you're a music artist, right? And I know a lot of his truth is in his music. He put a hell of an album out, but at the same time, this particular track, he's talking wild. And he kind of mentions what he's dealing with, what he's doing, and also the type of people that he's not trying to be around in that penitentiary. So if you kind of scroll down, I'm gonna kind of read the lyrics a little bit and kind of just get to the point. But he's basically talking about handling business in jail, right? Handling business in jail, right? He basically says, stands on business. I J-pay the killers to stand on the witness. CEOs are hating. They banning my visits. They claiming they caught me with hands on the titties. My young niggas saying they been getting dizzy. I've been praying and waiting for the day. So he starts talking about in these lyrics basically on how he has to put money on the books, right? And everybody knows JPEG is how you're able to put money on, your loved ones, anybody in there, just put money on the books. And he's basically calling shots, apparently in what he says in his track. He also says in the lyrics, particularly that there's certain people in here with paperwork that he can't just be around. Mind you, we just saw the video of old boy in there who did what he did, unfortunately, to that minor, right? So I'm curious, and again, this is all speculation. I'm curious if him putting this out on the airwaves, right? Number one, disrespecting his wife, right? Or whatever interaction that was, because you got to think about the mindset. You can't be weak in jail, but at the same time, you're a multimillionaire in there, essentially. So you probably walking there with a different type of energy, a different type of vibe, thinking you still on top of the world, right? And that's insulting to people. Very insulting, especially when you got your wife coming to see you and he over there in the corner like, yo, you know what I mean? That's a serious situation right there. He also put, I go out to the visit and I bag the bitch out, the baddest bitch out there, slap the shit. Like, he's talking in a manner that he is untouchable. He is untouchable. And I think what we want to really take away from this, especially here on Jefetalk, and just having a strong boss mindset of understanding the environment you in, when it's okay to talk shit and when it's not okay. He put literally a track out affirming his position in there. You got to understand, there's people in there doing life, right? There's people in there putting in mad work to position themselves in that particular environment so they won't be touched. And you coming in on some, I'm Tory, I got the bag, I'm putting money on books, I'm not messing with you, I'm not messing with you, see me. I mean, I don't even want to get in more details of these lyrics because it's really just putting out mad information that I don't even think he should be putting out, especially if he's trying to get out. Especially if he's trying to get out. You know what I'm saying? This is very eye-opening because this particular track with DDG, and the reason why y'all saw that, like, I don't do no clickbait. DDG put this track out. It's all for an entertainment move. It's all for the build-up for his album that just came out. And I think that as artists, you got to be a little bit more mindful about the positioning that you're putting your music out and who is it connected to and how it can affect the other person. At the end of the day, it's for a bag. It's for a bag. It could be maybe DDG was trying to just maybe look out for Tory. Let me get you on a track. Let me get some money on your book, some form of way. But the stuff he talking about in his track is wild. Look, let me read more lyrics. Let me read more lyrics. I mean, he going in. He said, I got the card in the wallet. The big Brody problems, my problems. So forget how you feel. I'm going to stand on business. Like, shorties from different cities talking highly about me. They can't deny me. These chicks can't deny me. I'm popping because I know I got it. And I'm paraphrasing because, I mean, he's just going in. You know what I'm saying? He also said, stick to my cell. I think about the rumors and the stuff they selling. My money in my pocket is heavy. I can't even count it. Like, come on. People in there working for pennies, You know what I'm saying? Jail is nothing to play with. And you talking with this type of energy. Then you're already talking about you got the toolie on deck if anybody want to test you. You know what I'm saying? So I honestly never wish anything of this magnitude that happened on anybody. But I think this particular track, Handling Business with DDG, kind of shares a little bit more of a detailed, intimate insight on exactly what he's going through, but what position he's in, what position he's standing on. And I think there's that fine line of where, hey, do I want to stand on business, right? Hence the track called Handling Business and explaining my business, and probably one of the worst state penitentiaries you can ever be in on your first bid. Keep in mind, this is his first bid. His first bid. This is wild. You know what I'm saying? And I think hopefully this will kind of give a little bit more clarity on the reasonings of why maybe he was attacked. You got to keep in mind, if you putting money on people's books, there's a cost that come with that, right? There's a price that comes with that. You get what I'm saying? And if that money slow down, is that protection still going to be there? Also, how much loyalty is like around all that money that you put supposedly on their books, right? Is it just a money play? You saw what they did to Tekashi. They ran it up until it was no more money. You get what I'm saying? So it's a lot of frenemies, enemies, a lot of things involved with this situation. Now, while we're on this topic, some more news just broke out. I'm just going to present it here. I was going to make another video, but at the same time, I think it's important to understand that this also sparked. This also was like a domino effect on evidence miraculously now coming out. I mean, it was already out, but now it's more light to it because Tory got stabbed. So it's like a gift and a curse. A gift and a curse. You get what I'm saying? Let's check out the new evidence that just came out. I think this is very, very interesting on when it came out too, because you got to keep in mind, Tory is literally still in the hospital, and this is making breaking news. Check it out.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Miss Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity.
Now, remember, when this trial, for those who don't know, when this trial first happened, he was nowhere to be found. Like, he was ghost. Like, he was out. He like, I want nothing to do with nothing. So that already took away a lot of the validity in him and his testimony whenever that came out at the time. Even though he doubled back at the end of it. Because like, yo, bro, where you was at the whole time when we needed you, right? And obviously there's a lot of probably intricate parts of that case and things that took place that we just don't know about on why he did that. But at the same time, this is a little bit more detailed of him just blatantly coming out saying who did it. This is wild work. Check this out.
Proximity, and he had privy to conversations. Disclosure agreement or confidentiality agreement, and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Miss Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun.
Yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. So you mean to tell me this whole time, because remember, there was a witness. For y'all don't know, there was an eyewitness that said, yo, he saw Shorty, had a spark come from her hand. And then after he initially said that, he was in the elevator. Some people caught up with him, quote unquote, they saying it was a company. I'm not going to say the company. I'm trying to get my subscribers up so they ain't going to shut me down. And he changed his whole story and said Tory did it. But now the bodyguard is coming out talking about, oh, nah, this is what really happened. Basically, Shorty and old girl was fighting. She went and got the toolie. Tory was like, yo, what are you doing? They fighting over it. After she already shot off some, and then it hit the ground and hit Shorty in the foot. And I need y'all to understand, this is in alignment with what the witness was saying initially before he got flipped. He basically was flipped. So I find it interesting that this is coming out now after the stabbing, right? I'm pretty sure there was a lot of effort from Tory's family. There was a lot of effort from just his representatives on like, listen, we can't afford to possibly lose Tory when we're sitting on this evidence. I think maybe this also probably provoked, right? I think it probably provoked the bodyguard to come forward and probably put on record, yo, shorty shot Meg. You get what I'm saying? So again, like I said, this is a gift and a curse for Tory. You know, we'll see how this plays out. Let's finish this video.
Never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw two women fighting, two men break up the fight, one man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense?
Yo, that right there blows my mind. Like, I mean, everybody know LA and California is known for, you know what I'm saying, a lot of corruption. But there's got to be some higher powers to omit, take away evidence, change witnesses, right? And I know the internet in general beat this down like a dead horse, but again, this is brought up for a reason. It just doesn't add up. I don't care if you a Meg fan, if you a Tory fan. Let's just take out who it is and look at the facts. You had a witness literally said the fire came from shorty hands. You get what I'm saying? And now you got a bodyguard who not once said, yo, it wasn't Tory, but now he's confirming what really happened. Something got to flip. And I think for Tory's case, I mean, because you got to think about it. I mean, after a stabbing like that, he has to go in protective custody. And I'm going to be honest, he should have did that off rip. You a millionaire. And off just for protection of his own personality. He put out one of the top albums of the year because he was so raw, because he was so open with his experiences. But you got to understand that probably also pissed people off in there. It's certain things you just don't talk about. If you're going to live by the streets, there's certain codes by the streets, right? And unfortunately, in jail, they still live by that. And if you out here putting out all the business and then you talking smack, talking crazy, then you hollering at my joint when she coming to visit me. Oh, and I got life. Oh yeah, it's up. It's up. You get what I'm saying? It's up. So, this definitely takes a huge turn on just information presented, but I don't think at this point it's going to do a quick flip of his situation. You got to keep in mind, it has to be an agreement from the governor. I think they putting some pardons together. They're trying to figure out something. But what does this say? I mean, the conviction is already done. You get what I'm saying? Very, very interesting information that just came out. Let's check this out.
Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken, and again, simply not given to the defense?
Yo, so in a nutshell, and shout out to Chig Smooth on releasing that video. Shout out to him. In a nutshell, you know, I think this kind of puts a little bit clarity on why Tory was stabbed. Obviously, I don't think it's just over a track. But, you know, as we saw in the other video, he explained exactly the dynamics and what was going on in there, right? He got caught hollering at old boys. And that's another thing. If you got, what's her name? I forgot. Zelga, whatever her name is. You Tory Lanez, bro. Why are you in there hollering? And then also on the track, he talking about pulling the COs. That's what I'm saying. You can't go in jail like you still out of jail. You got to be low. You got to be real low. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, the entertainment side kind of mixed in, and he's still walking there with that ego. You get what I'm saying? And again, he doesn't deserve any type of, life-threatening situation. But at the same time, as much as he wanted to keep the codes of the streets and plead the fifth, you got to have that same mindset going in there and watch what you say and how you say it, because everybody not your friend. You get what I'm saying? So I'm going to keep y'all plugged in. If y'all like this reaction, my theories on it, hey, if y'all agree or don't agree, I want you to drop those comments below. I appreciate the love y'all showed on the last video. Like I said, I'm going to put more reaction videos out in a mix of my different podcasts. This is Jefetalk. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I am out.